Hey, y'all, you're listening to the Chicken Fried Women podcast with me, your host, Melissa Radke, the original recipe. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chicken Fried Women, the Chicken Fried Women podcast brought to you by, I wish it was brought to you by somebody. Amazon. What if it was brought to y'all by American Express? Don't you know they must pay good? Okay. Anyway, that's not the point. It's brought to you by me right now. I'm so glad that you're here today. I have a guest on today. Y'all. Okay. First of all, what have I done? What have I done that has warranted this freedom that y'all feel to just email me your thoughts on who I have and when I have them? We like her. We want more of her. Where's your mom? She hadn't been here in weeks. How come you ain't had that other girl? That y'all are a little too free with your opinions. Sometimes they make me cry. Actually, no, y'all only said nice things. But one of the things that y'all said was, we don't, this is what you said. This is what one lady said. We don't need professionals. We don't need professionals on there. We just prefer when it's your family. Well, I can give you that for days, but American Express is never going to sponsor this podcast if it's just Annette Melba. So you're going to be really happy this week. I have on a family member. I'm going to get right to it and welcome Kylie.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm setting up my timer so I know how long we're talking. Okay. Y'all don't know how hard it was to get her here.
My hands are sweating.
Let me feel.
I don't like a camera, which is weird.
That's not what your husband says. Okay. Okay. You're not blood related.
No.
Tell them how you're related to me.
I am married to Melissa's first cousin, Brandon.
Also known as Bubba. So Meredith, who y'all all met, well, my Aunt Melba, she bore 2 children. Now she bores us all, but she has Meredith and Brandon. Those are her kids. And she married Brandon, or Bubba, as we call him. When you came into our family, you once said, boy, marrying into this family was hard. Y'all are a lot to take.
It was intimidating, for sure.
Was it because of our beauty? Is it because of our talent?
Yes, that was exactly it.
What was it?
Well, y'all are just, there's a lot of you, first of all.
There is.
And y'all are all very loud and opinionated and overbearing sometimes. But yeah, it was intimidating. It was this room that I first met you all in.
When this was a den?
Uh-huh.
Really?
I had just got done shooting a wedding, and I had come in and met all of you.
Wait, hold on. Did I live in
You live
Texas
back there. You live back there.
At the guest house?
Yes.
Okay. David, I'm the kids. They're the kids. I didn't remember if I still lived in Nashville.
No, you were here.
Okay.
You were here. Because then we walked over to your house.
What?
And I had on heels this high. That was back in my...
Oh, don't you know? I was probably standing at the window with the blinds. I wonder, David Radke, you're here. Do you remember what I said when she walked up? Did I say this that Leanne Morgan said on that movie when she was just down when she said, she looks like a whore. And then somebody said, that's not nice to say. She goes, okay, well then she's not a whore, but she's doing whorish things.
She's doing whorish things. I did. And which is crazy because now I would never shoot a wedding in heels like that. But yeah, that night I do remember exactly. I was nervous.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were all here playing games, I think, had eaten or something. And
it's funny when people tell me, yeah, your family's loud and opinionated. I don't hear that anymore. That is just what my family is, just white noise.
Yes, right.
But Remy says, man, when I'm with all the family, y'all are so opinionated. And I'm like, what did we even give our opinion about tonight?
Oh, what do you not give your opinion?
I'm going to tell you some things I don't give my opinion on. I've wanted to get mad at your husband a time or two, but I just hold it.
Oh, get in line. Yeah.
I just hold it in.
Yes.
So Kylie was really nervous about coming on. She is more comfortable behind the camera. She's a wonderful photographer. Now she's full-time mom, all the time mom. She was really nervous to come on. But Kylie, the reason that I wanted you to come on today, and we're going to talk about a lot of different stories, it was your mother-in-law, which, by the way, if I ever had a podcast called Mother-in-Law, You'd be the first one on who wanted to share stories.
I love my mother-in-law.
I know you do love her, but there are some stories.
Oh yeah, we've got some stories.
It was Melba that said, you got to have Kylie on and let her tell you about the story about what they saw on the baby monitor. And
oh gosh,
I have never heard you tell this story. This
really?
is new
Never?
to me.
Wow.
Never. But you guys set it up like a real story.
Like a real story. Okay, so our daughter was born April 2015, and I'd probably say a year later, because I think she was about a year. Our baby monitor was on its last leg. Like, you had to hold it at an angle to get it to stay, and we probably should have just bought a new one, but she was right next door anyway. But one night, I'd put her down, and I'd heard a noise, so I got up and I went into the bedroom, and I leaned over and I was checking out, because with our babies, you're making sure they're breathing and all of that. And
is this gonna be a scary story?
No. Well, it was in the moment. It was in the moment. Okay. She was breathing. I said, okay, great. Like I said, I leaned over, came back in the room, and I laid down. Well, about 5 minutes later, I clicked on the monitor because I thought I heard something. And when I clicked it on, there was what it looked to be like a big fat man leaned over in a wife beater, touching her. I swear I saw it on the screen. And I panicked. I shoved Brandon away. I said, Brandon, you got to go in there. You got to get your gun. Go in there. Someone's in the room with Corley. And so he immediately jumped up, got his gun.
Now you know we're a gun-fearing family.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No.
Okay. So he goes in there and no one's in there. I'm panicking. He's searching. He used to be a police officer, so he's searching the whole house now.
Are you crying?
I am. I'm shaking. I'm so scared because I saw it with my own two eyes.
Yeah.
So he was like, Kylie, I think you saw something. There's no way. There's nobody in here. I've checked the whole house. And I was like, I swear.
It's a demon.
And he said, Kylie, are you sure it didn't freeze? Like, are you sure it didn't capture an image from before or something and freeze? And I said, no, I'm sure. And he goes, well, go in there and lean across and I'm going to take a picture. And I said, okay. And so I go in there and I leaned over into Corley's bed and he took a picture and I came back in the room and he said, was this what you saw? And I said, I'm the big fat wife beater. It was a white tank top.
Well, that's why I kept thinking this isn't her.
Yeah, it's me. I had the white tank top and it was my big fat man arm and I'm the big fat man. And so now to this day, he calls me BFM. And yes, and that's the story. I was the big fat man. It had frozen because, like I said, it was
Kelly,
it was a hunk of junk. It was a hunk of junk. So we got a new baby monitor after that, and I never saw the big fat man again. So,
but didn't you though? Didn't you maybe see the big fat?
Oh
man
yeah,
again?
A few times. It was funny.
Okay, that is wonderful. I have never heard that. It kind of made me sweat in my pits a little bit because
I'm telling you, it was for real. Like, I'm not even joking to make a funny story. Like, legit, I thought there was a man in our child's room. I mean, so much so that he got a gun and searched the house. And
you described your own self
as a big fat man. I was like, it's a huge fat man with a wife beater.
Oh my God, Kylie.
And I was like, how did I not hear him come in? Like, because our door was literally, we lived in a smaller house then, and our doors were very close, but we had it shut because we were watching TV. Yeah.
Okay. I got to tell y'all, one of the things that makes me so happy about this story is that that when she saw this picture, she thought, big fat man, because when Kylie came into our family, you talk about everybody in our family is fluffy. We're all fluffy. You talk about somebody that did not have a weight problem. That was this girl right here. Y'all, one of the earliest memories I have. So our family goes to Rosemary Beach every single summer. We're going this summer. And one of the first things that I distinctly remember about Kylie was she went on this beach trip with us and we were all down at the beach and she was coming a little bit later, like she had to get ready. And she came with this hair. She ain't changed her hairstyle in 14 years. Okay. She still had the long blonde hair and she came with this bikini on. I'm going to tell y'all something.
That was a good bikini. I should have kept it.
You should have kept it just for memory's sake. There ain't nobody in my family that wears a bikini. You would almost think we're object to it, but it's just rather that we can't wear them. She walked up in a bikini. Keep in mind, Meredith and I are in the ocean and it looks like a tarp is floating around us, okay, to catch sea turtles, but that's just our swim dresses. And this yahoo walks up in a polka dot Wasn't it pink?
Black and white, I think. What?
I thought it was pink with black polka dots.
Oh, was it? I don't remember.
And in the bikini top was a brooch. A brooch, like the Queen of England kind of brooch.
So cute. Should have kept it.
And I remember looking at Meredith and thinking, how are we going to kill her?
No, but do you remember what you said to me later that night? You said,
yes,
I promise you by the end of this, you're going to end up in a swim dress too. And I did. And I did. And
it was only a few years later that she walked out in a sarong with her swim dress on. And Meredith and I were like, we won. We won. Kylie and I also went to Maui one year. It was the coolest thing. Tell them how my dad surprised us.
Well, we were planning on going to Rosemary, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we thought that was the plan. And he set us down and said,
well, because we got together to talk about what time we were
out. We were meeting and talking about all of so it was like
the night before.
Oh, was it really? I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, change of plans. We're going to Maui.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this real life?
You weren't even married into the family.
No, we were not married yet. We were engaged.
I remember being to my dad like, she going to?
She gets to go?
You're going to take her as well?
Thank you, Poppy.
He had rented 2 big, huge condos.
The most beautiful condos.
Beautiful condos in a condo area. So you just the big, huge glass doors that open up and you can see the ocean and everything. And he rented 2 of them because there were so many of us going. Okay. Okay, I gotta tell y'all. Do you want to tell them?
She's gonna be mad at you.
Who stayed where?
Well, me and Brandon and you and David. Was there anybody else in
this?
The kids stayed in one condo.
Okay.
And everyone else stayed in the other.
Everybody else stayed in the other. Now, the reason that this was a big deal is because Brandon and Kylie were not married. Okay.
And my mother-in-law did not like the thought of us being anywhere close to each other.
Exactly. So she said,
well, first she asked if I would sleep on the couch or something like that.
Did she really?
Yeah, I think she wanted me to sleep on the couch in Maui. And I was like, really?
What did Brandon say?
Oh, he wanted me to sleep in the same bedroom as him.
So Brandon walks over to David and goes, can Kylie and I stay in your condo so we don't have to be with my mother? And David's like, y'all can sex it up in her condo.
We actually didn't. We put a big pillow right between us.
We put a big pillow and then we would chunk it out of the bed. But y'all, I'm telling you guys, I'm so churchy. Like there's so much of 80s Christian stuck in me that I can't get over certain things. So here's these 2, and I think y'all were engaged.
We were engaged.
You were engaged.
Mm-hmm.
They're sharing a ring.
That was summer, right? Mm-hmm. And then we got married in November. Yeah.
I would walk by their room at night. David would find me standing by their door, and he would go like this. You're going to have to get over this. You're going to have to get over it. And I would be like, I'm not listening for anything and praying.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's what you were doing.
I listened so hard.
I feel like we were pretty respectful.
Melba goes, you don't worry about Remy and Rocco asking questions. I was like,
she didn't want anything to do with it.
Remy and Rocco are going to ask questions. Remy and Rocco were little. They were completely.
Let me tell you, Melba was completely different than she is now. She's.
What?
I think I just.
You've worn her down.
I've worn her down, right? The sinner has penetrated the family.
Nothing penetrated.
She's had no other choice, right?
She has loosened up.
She really has. She's loosened up a lot.
Well, as far as much as Melba can loosen up. Hey, did you know that the Chicken Fried Women podcast is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, coming out April 22nd? I have a question for you. Have you pre-ordered it yet? Go to Amazon.com or wherever you buy books and order one for you and your bestie and your mom and your college roommate. You get what I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Okay. Give us a story about her. Come on.
About Melba?
Yes.
Oh, one of my favorites was when we lived back here behind you. We had just gotten married and we were living back there, and Meredith called us one night and said, there is some sort of gecko giant lizard in our house. Can y'all come help us? So,
Meredith wasn't married yet.
No, she was living. She was living with Melba, and we drove down there, and Melba was pantless. She had on a pajama top, but no pants. I mean, underwear on, but no pants, right? And she was running around. Meredith standing on top of the coffee table. Melba's running around pantless trying to catch this lizard. And Brandon's like, what are y'all doing? And so we finally get it cornered into in Meredith's bedroom. And Melba lunges, okay? And steps on the lizard with her foot. So she's in a full-on lunge position with no pants. And this is, we hadn't even been married a year. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Okay. She steps on it?
Yeah, she stepped on the tail.
Okay. A gecko? That's not possible. In East Texas, it was just a lizard.
Okay. It was huge though. It wasn't like a green lizard. It was like, oh, what's the other one? Salamander.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about. Yes. It was disgusting. And it was a big one.
Yeah.
And Meredith was freaking out. So it was just funny seeing her pantless in a lunge.
And now if you saw Melba pantless, would you think a thing about it?
No,
I wouldn't either.
I would not.
We see my mother pantless all the time. You want to talk about that? What's going on there?
I don't address Annette's clothing options.
I'm going to tell y'all something. My mom, when I was growing up, she wore nothing but muumuus. She wore them all the time. And really pretty ones, like silky.
Yeah, they're pretty.
She would put necklaces with them and she would wear them to host Easter dinner and all. That's what she did. It is like, it's like she said to herself, you know, the length of those muumuus really wore me out. So now I'm going to wear things.
Wear them as short as they can.
I'm going to wear them as short as they can. Now, my mother is short already, and she's just like a little circle. She's just built like a little circle.
With two little toothpicks.
Two little skinny legs, chicken legs. But you and I both know she has walked out in some of the shortest nightgowns.
Yes. But it's her house, so I guess she can do that.
I guess she can, but good.
When she starts going into public, I guess maybe we should worry. Unless you've seen her out in public in those.
I haven't seen her out in public. I will tell you what I did see in public once.
Oh, God.
Melba. When she was still working, she's retired now. She texted me and said, hey, let's meet at Chili's for lunch. I said, okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. Just thinking about this makes me so embarrassed. She came in with this beautiful top on and it hit mid-thigh.
Okay.
And then underneath it I know she thought these are black leggings.
But they were pantyhose. See-through.
Kylie, they were, I didn't know what to do because she had to go back to work. She walked out of Chili's and I'm not.
Why didn't you say
I don't know. To this day, I remember that. And I'm thinking, why didn't I wasn't a girl's girl that day.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what I think it is? Is that Melba thinks that I critique her too much.
She does.
What does she say?
No, I'm just saying her and Meredith are both that way. You can't say anything to them.
Yeah, if you critique them, it don't go over well.
It does not. It does not.
You know those people with a teachable spirit? That's not who we're talking about. But so I didn't because I was afraid. And what could she do?
What could she do at that point? But still, I mean.
Oh, they were so
see, I want to know. Y'all tell me if I've got anything in my teeth or on my nose or I'm not embarrassed. Just tell me.
Well, I did tell Meredith, hey, I need to tell you what your mom wore. And she said, let me guess.
Oh, she had already said.
They were black tights. I keep telling her that tights are not leggings. Tights
yeah,
are
they're
not.
They're not.
So they weren't pantyhose, but they were tights. But
I'm sure the men at work loved it.
So you have two of my favorite children.
They're pretty cute.
In the world, Lily and Crew. And you just recently did a little something to Crew.
I permed his hair. He had been begging. It's the trend. All the little boys at school are doing it. Uh-huh. And I shopped around to some ladies and it was about $120
to perm
for a perm and a cut. And I was like, I'm going to do this myself. So I ordered this stuff on Amazon and permed it. And it's precious and he loves it. Although he told me yesterday morning, he said, I need you to make this perm go away.
What?
And I said, why? We just did all this hard work. Why do you want it? I thought you loved it. And he goes, because the girls are asking me to be their boyfriend because they love my perm so much. And I just don't want to do this anymore. Can you take it out? And I said, it doesn't work like that.
That's what it means to be a heartbreaker.
I know. So
he's what? 7?
He'll be 7 in September.
Oh my gosh. And he is a heartbreaker for
pretty
sure.
Cute. I know.
Crew Easton. And so now he doesn't want it anymore.
No.
Do you think that's true, or do you think he's really like?
I don't know. Every morning he's like, don't make it curly. Don't do this. Like this morning he was like, please don't put the spray in it. And I was like,
oh no,
like he's serious. It weirds him out. The girl, he likes being their friends, which is a good thing, I guess.
Is it that one little girl I don't like? Is it that one little girl? Am I holding a grudge against a kindergartner? Why, yes, I am. I don't like her. I don't like the way she looks at me. And one time she pointed to my body and said something to her mom. So I'm pretty sure it was negative.
Did she call you a big back? Because that's the word now.
That's the word?
Yeah. We were at Crew's basketball practice and a little girl came up to us and said, Crew, why is your dad such a big back?
What did Brandon do?
The Crew said, I don't know. He really likes Whataburger. And Brandon just sat there like, wow. And now you know what Brandon's been doing? He's been walking every morning at 6 a.m.
Brandon
White. He's walking in our neighborhood. He walks about 3 miles every morning.
That is not true.
Because a little girl called him a big back.
That's like that little boy that in Nashville. David, do you remember the little boy in Nashville that said, we're sitting eating Mexican food with this family? There was a mom and dad and their 2 boys, and then David and I, we didn't have children yet. And he just all of a sudden he went, you have a really fat neck. The mother went, Josiah, that's not nice to say. He's so little. I got up and sobbed in the Las Palmas
I would
bathroom.
too. I would if somebody called me a big back or a fat neck. I would cry. I don't know.
So at Hudson High School, they have an Instagram page, and they'll video kids. They'll video kids and put them on Instagram, and the kids play along. It's so far, it's not been anything mean, but there is a video of Remy, and she's walking through the high school, and somebody asked her a question, and she goes, "I don't know, because I'm a big back," like that. Yeah, and the question wasn't mean, and her response wasn't mean. She's
just joking,
making
fun
of herself. But when they put the video up, they did it like this. They edited it. She goes, "I don't know, because I'm a big back." Big.
I've got to see this video
like that. And she watched it and she goes, it was funny when I said it.
Not so much after.
Not so much after they edited it.
Yeah.
But anyway, your kids are my favorite. I had Coralie on one time. She told the world, I had her on a morning show. David and I did a morning show every morning. It still to this day is our highest rated episode.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
With all the things that she brought. I remember her animals.
Yeah. She brought her animals and showed them. And then she told a story of how sometimes my mama gets her hiney hurts. And I was like, ooh,
Melissa.
talk more. And it was hemorrhoids is what it was.
No, it was constipation. It was a suppository.
Oh, it's constipation. And she said, yeah. And so sometimes I hear my dad, and he will be trying to shove something in my mom's bottom. And my mom will be saying, no, Brandon, it hurts.
Listen.
Best ever. I could have made
and that's why she's not been back on the show.
I could have made $10,000 on America's Funniest Videos.
You probably could have. You should have.
What did you do when you heard that? Did you about die?
Yes.
Or was there a moment of
Well, I knew there was a chance of you pulling something like that out of her. But yeah, I was mortified.
Speaking of pulling things out of her, what the heck was he putting in there?
Nothing that I would like to share.
It was a suppository.
He didn't put a suppository in my bottom.
Wait.
Listen.
Wait. Stop. Wait. I'm stunned right now. And I'm really stunned. I'm really stunned on my own show. She did it in correlation to your constipation. So I thought it was a suppository.
Well, what? I'm not going to let Brandon put a suppository in my bottom.
Well, some people might.
I'm sure we were having sex and I just have zero privacy in my home because my kids are up my butt crack 24/7.
Speaking of up your butt crack.
She wasn't in there. She doesn't know what it was if it was in my bottom.
True. Okay, true. Because I'm like, what? You know what? I should have kept praying by y'all's door in Maui.
You should have.
I should have.
We need it.
I had my hand on it one time. David goes, don't touch that door.
Oh my God.
Would you like to tell one embarrassing story about Brandon before we go?
He might kill me if I do. I don't know which one to tell, but I guess I'll do the PetSmart one. When we had our large Great Dane.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to talk about Grayson? we were going to get food for her one night, and we were walking in. We had just eaten Del Rio,
which is Mexican
food. And my husband has about a 20-minute window from when he eats to when he has to use the restroom.
Yeah, he does.
So we were pushing it, stopping by PetSmart.
Uh-huh.
We were walking in.
And Del Rio does it to him every
single time. So we were walking in, and this is before we had kids, so we were super affectionate. And I was rubbing his back walking in, and I just put my hand on his butt.
Oh.
And he tooted. And I felt like a dart.
Shut up!
I swear, it was so powerful, it hit my hand.
Shut up!
And I don't know why, because I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. My first reaction was to go,
It smell it! It smell it!
I smelled it, and it was doo-doo. Doo-doo on my hand.
Kylie.
I swear. And I was like, oh my God, this is
Kylie.
not real. So I'm just sitting there. He is dying laughing in the PetSmart parking lot, and I'm holding my hand like this. Well, obviously we didn't go into PetSmart.
Kylie.
So we go back to the car. He gets a blanket, ties it around his waist. Okay. We are booking it back to our apartment.
Kylie, what are you doing with your hand?
Well, I think I had some wipes or something. So I'm wiping my hand off, but we make it back to the apartment, and the management person stops us. So we're on the side of the sidewalk, and Brand's got a blanket tied around his waist.
Oh my
And the guy's just sitting there talking. I'm like literally peeing myself because I'm laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh.
It was hilarious. He shat himself.
How do you stay married to him? He is disgusting.
I just love him so much.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I like him a lot, but that is ridiculous.
I know, that's true love. It really is.
That is true love.
It really is.
This has been longer than it even needed to be.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to shoot for 20 minutes.
Okay.
We did 25. And how easy was it?
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
I mean, it's easy. Yeah. Now the world knows my business, but other than that,
Let's be honest. There are so many other things that we could share. And this won't be the last time that you're on here, but I just wanted you to know that it was painless.
yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was fun.
This is what we do. We provide entertainment.
Solid entertainment.
Solid
Yes.
entertainment to the world at the expense of my family.
Right?
That's what we do. So thank you for being on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Anyway, you guys, you said you wanted more of my family. I don't know if you meant it, but you're getting it. I hope they remind you of yours. Love you. And until next time. Thanks so much for being here today, where we get to talk about our friendships and our kinships and the stories that made us this way. Till next time.